KXL 92.5 FM.
Today's new drug, we welcome you in. Bowl season is upon us. Oh, my goodness, there's some big ones going on. You know that, right?
I saw that Bulls alum Ryan Silverfield got a nice win last night. Memphis taking down West Virginia. So congratulations to the Memphis Tigers.
And let me just say this on a Wednesday afternoon here on the First Coast. I always knew the Frisco Bowl was big.
Yeah.
And that was even before it was the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. Yeah, you ever been to Scooters Coffee?
We got Scooters Coffee on board?
Let me just tell you this, by the way. You ever drive down Beach Boulevard?
That's some good coffee.
You ever drive down Beach Boulevard?
Occasionally, yeah.
There are two coffee places.
Uh-huh.
One of them Scooters. The other one, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
They're like right next to each other. They're like those little drive-through coffee places.
Uh-huh.
They're like 5 feet wide. They built, I'm telling you, on Beach Boulevard, people that live over down where I do can tell you this. They're right next to each other. It's almost like they built them on the same plot of land. It's almost like Hatfields and McCoy said, no, that's ours. No, it isn't. It's ours. So they're right next to each other.
Is it like a spite business, like in Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I'm telling you, they're right next to each other. JJ, have you ever seen what I'm talking about on Beach Boulevard by any chance? Or no?
No.
Right. If you drive Beach Boulevard east and you're going to the beach and you pass Hodges.
Well,
okay?
you know, like there was a whole season on Curb Your Enthusiasm where Larry David gets offended when he's in somebody's coffee shop because a table wobbles or something, and he wants the table fixed.
Right.
And the owner's like, there's nothing wrong with this table. And he's like, look, I just want to put some napkins. I think that's how it started. You know, it always starts very kind of innocently and then escalates.
Right.
And Mocha Joe. So Larry goes to war with Mocha Joe and decides to open a spite business.
Oh, he does.
So he opens his own coffee place right next to him.
Okay.
To drive him out of business.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But this must be because I'm not making this up. There are two of them, and they're little bitty drive-through ones. That's like, I guess, all the rage now to the coffee people. And they are literally right next to each other.
Wow.
One Scooters and one something else. I think we ought to go sell them advertising. You sell one, I'll sell the other. And we'll say, listen, I'll fight Carlyon.
It's the Hatfields versus the McCoys.
It's right
here.
there. So they're right next to each other. So anyway, last night was the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl.
I love coffee. I would be all about trying their fine product.
And right when you think you've got some time to rest, okay, right when you think you need some time off, I'm coming back at you tonight with the Boca Raton Bowl.
Oh, that's big.
Now, here's the problem. You thought the way you think is you'd have some time after that bowl. That's because I know how you think.
Yeah, well, can I rest after watching?
You would need.
I only have so much adrenaline in my body.
You would need a brief respite, is what you would want.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is right behind that, I'm going to throw the Art of Sport LA Bowl at you.
Really?
Now
tonight is the Art of Sport Bowl.
I've always said, you ever put the Boca Raton Bowl and the Art of Sport LA Bowl
that
on
had
the
to be
same
a
night?
mistake.
Had to be same night.
This is why we need a commissioner of football
because they're going back to back. Okay,
wow.
So just so you know. And that's tonight. One is at 5:30, the other's at 9. Tomorrow at 7 o'clock, the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl. Okay, that's tomorrow night. Don't get worn out because on Friday night, and I know you know this.
Yeah.
The Staff DNA Cure Bowl.
Say that again.
The Staff
DNA Bowl?
The Staff DNA Cure Bowl.
Cure Bowl.
Which is the opener to the Gasparilla Bowl, brought to you by Union Home Mortgage. That's the week we're in. I don't know what you got going on, but
commerce.
I'm locked in. Okay?
That is commerce. That is capitalism at work, and I love to see it. And I will watch every one of those
Of
bowls.
course you will. I will, too. By the way, after I'm done making fun of them now, I'll watch. I probably will.
Football.
That's kind of
what else am I going to watch?
Exactly. I had a lot of things to do with the program today. Brett Hastings comes by. Our guy Lane Kiffin is in the news again legally. We'll explain why. I'm going to have Brett lay that whole thing out for you. But listen, if it's legal and it's Hastings and it's about Kiffin, you know it's going to be good.
Absolutely.
So Hastings will be by in about 10 minutes or so. Brett Hastings will kind of cover all that. So that comes up today on the program. We'll talk a little bit about the Gator basketball game last night. In fact, I'll start with that in just a second. The Jags played the Raiders. The Raiders are a really interesting franchise. Their history. I would suggest they're probably unlike any other franchise in sport.
I would agree.
They
embrace renegade more than probably any pro sports team does.
They're the villains, but in somewhat of a lovable way.
Charming way.
Yeah, charming way.
Yeah.
Even and I'll tell I've told you the story many times. I said it on the air, but I'll tell the story the last time we played out there, how I kind of bonded with Raider Nation. All the guys that the ugly ones, the mean, the ones that look like they're killed. And you know the thing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell that story. But you know how this, they dress up.
Was that in Oakland or Vegas?
That was in Oakland.
Oakland, okay.
But they dress up like they're gang members. Okay,
Right.
like they're hoodlums. Okay,
Yeah.
they're all
or Darth Vader, or the Road Warriors.
Well, that too. But the ones with the bones and the pads and turns out they're all like lawyers, judges.
Yeah.
But on Sunday they dress up like this. So but I'll tell a story of how I kind of bonded.
I admire them.
I thank them, and so I'll tell that story. But the Raiders are an interesting franchise. Quickly, what do you think of anything Raiders? One name.
Howie Long.
More than John Madden.
Yeah, because that was before.
Because Howie Long's a good call.
Howie Long, when I was a kid, Howie Long was one of the most dominant defensive players.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, as a kid, I always liked the defensive guys more.
Yeah.
Like I liked Singletary.
Yeah. Okay.
And
okay.
I liked LT.
Yeah.
And so Howie Long resonated with me because he was one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL for a number of years. And so, that's kind of what I think of. Madden had already become a broadcaster by the time I was watching the NFL. So I don't want to associate him with the Raiders like a lot of people would.
JJ, when I say Raiders, first name that comes to mind.
Al Davis.
Okay.
Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, but Al Davis.
That's serious.
But Al Davis for sure. I wouldn't have thought Jamarcus
I mean, they've
Russell.
been nothing my entire life.
But Al Davis, I get it. Probably the first name that came to mind for me was Madden. The second one is Kenny Stabler.
Yeah. See, again,
Stabler,
I mean, great player.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame player.
Yeah.
But I never saw him play.
Yeah, right. I get it. And so, but they're a really interesting franchise all the way back. I mean, they're the team that had 48-year-old or 46-year-old George Blanda kicking field goals and being the backup quarterback. That was them. They were. I mean, there's a lot of history with the Raiders.
What if Bo Jackson doesn't get hurt?
Bo Jackson had to come to mind, doesn't he?
Yeah.
If you did a list of guys that you think of with the Raiders, Bo Jackson's got to be on the ballot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll talk a little bit about the Raiders in there, and because they just can't. It's been a long time since they've been able to find anything. The other teams have had ups and downs, but it's been a hard time since they've been able to find. I mean, when is the last time the Raiders have been?
2002?
That is it. Yeah, probably. Yeah, was that
With
was
the
that when
Bucks?
they
They
played the
got
Bucks?
destroyed by the
When they
Bucks?
played the Bucks, probably the Gruden Bowl was probably the one. That's probably the last time. That was 22 years ago, and I don't remember any relevance from them since then.
I would agree. Now they have made the playoffs because we
Right.
know the Jets
Yeah.
have the longest drought.
Right.
So they went 10-7 and 21, and lost in the wild card round.
But a quiet.
Yeah,
playoff
Carr
run.
had some decent years.
Yeah.
But
You're
I'm
right,
but
you're
I'm
right.
looking at it now. Their last playoff win that I can tell did come in 2002. Which
Last
is
win, okay.
Yeah, which is unbelievable. They've only got 2 appearances. They lost in the wild card round in 21 and in 2016.
Yeah, and remember now, but they're just a weird. I mean, they were the Oakland Raiders until they were the Los Angeles Raiders,
Right.
which they were until they were again the Oakland Raiders, and then when nobody was watching, they became the Las Vegas Raiders. It's just a weird.
So they've lost double-digit amount of games. So this is at least 10 losses, and a lot of these years it's more than 10.
Right.
2003, 04, 05, 06, 07, 08, 09, 2012, 13, 14, 17, 18. I mean, that's incredible.
And that's the Raiders. I mean,
Double-digit losses.
Yeah.
And then they lost double-digit games again in 2022, and then obviously this year they're 2-12.
yeah. The Raiders. It's just interesting stuff.
And they're probably going to lose out.
Yeah.
I can't believe they're favored this week.
It keeps flipping back and forth. It's
Like one.
Yeah, it keeps
Pick 'em,
like one
basically.
day it's today the Jaguars are the underdog, but yesterday they were the favorite, and so we'll see. But I mean, obviously that's 2 really bad teams playing on Sunday. I think maybe it's O'Connell waiting to see because he is average, and that's probably being kind. Is Aiden O'Connell is. Desmond Ridder is pathetic.
Yeah.
I mean, shame on if Desmond Ridder ends up starting this game and has over 120 passing yards, shame on the Jaguars if that happens. I mean, he has no feel for it at all. So anyway, we'll see. But yeah, it's it is surprising that the Raiders have been as bad as they've been. Now they're going to have a high pick. We'll see if they get Sanders or Ward.
Yeah. So we'll see what winds up happening. All right, let's get to the basketball last night. I thought it was a terrific win for the Gators, and on many fronts. Number one, Carolina is obviously way better than their record. I didn't realize. I knew they were 6-4 coming in. Now they're 6-5, and I don't pay enough attention to college basketball. Shame on me. I didn't realize they had played Kansas, Alabama, Arkansas, and Michigan State before last night. Who did that schedule?
Well, they're North Carolina.
Yeah, well, I guess that's right.
Yeah,
but I don't care who you are.
That's what you do.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Because they're used to winning those games, or at least,
Correct.
Winning 75% of those games.
They played Kansas, Alabama, Arkansas, all of whom are top 7 or 8 teams, and Michigan State is a top 15, top 20 team, and but as blue of blood as you can get. So now look, they're undersized. The point you made, they've got the Lubin guy that was at Vanderbilt, but they don't have many big guys. But their guards are terrific. I mean, their guards are the best guard in the country, by the way, and their guards are terrific. And Florida needed that game. Florida needed a game where someone could outquick them. I thought from about 2 minutes left in the first half, throughout most of the second half, North Carolina out-toughed Florida. They were out-toughing them. They were beating them to loose balls. They were yanking balls out of their hands. They were tougher. They were the tougher team. And Florida, to its credit, excuse the musical analogy, but they didn't back down. They didn't. I thought it was a game where you had to show, are you tough enough to hang with a team that's consistently been tough and has some players left from a team that went to the final game. And I thought it was a really good win. I thought you want to learn that lesson and then still win the game.
Right.
That's the thing. It would have been a good lesson either way. But if you can learn that lesson, and look, they're going to get in that SEC, and that if there's one, and I'm not saying Todd Golden did a bad job by not scheduling better teams, I thought
he probably knew what was coming.
Well, that's right, and he's correct. And I thought Arizona State would be better. Arizona State was nothing like this Carolina team.
Correct.
And so Carolina was tough, fast, quick, physical, and Florida still won the game. Great test for the Gators. Going into the SEC, they really needed that, and they found a way to win the game.
Yeah, I agree. You couldn't have drawn it up any better for Florida to get the they played beautiful basketball early. I mean, some of the sequences Florida was hitting in the first 3-4 minutes of that game. I mean, there were things of beauty. I mean, crisp passing and great court vision and knocking down the shots and great defense, great rebounding, and you're watching it in the first 4 or 5 minutes, and I mean, this team looks about as pretty as any Florida team that I can remember seeing going back to the back-to-back title teams in terms of their just skill. Then, obviously, North Carolina rallies and does throw a haymaker to start the second half, gets the lead. Where the game turned, I think, and obviously Will Richard had a fantastic offensive rebound and putback in the final minute. But where I thought the biggest play of the game was Alex Condon's offensive rebound with 3:43 left. Martin misses a three. At the time, Florida's down 81-77, and North Carolina has all the momentum. So if Martin misses that shot and North Carolina gets the rebound, they have the opportunity to go up 6-7 points.
Great call.
Condon gets the offensive rebound. It's a fantastic one. It's not a ball that just landed right. I mean, goes and fights and gets the offensive rebound, gets fouled, and then makes both free throws to make it a 2-point game. I thought at that point, that was what kept Florida in it and really keyed what was a fantastic final few minutes where Florida outscored North Carolina 13-3. They got the final 6 rebounds of the game. And I'll say this, Thomas Houck, for a guy coming off the bench,
right,
he might be the best reserve Florida's had in a decade.
And nobody wanted him. I mean,
yeah.
I mean the way, and I'm going to get into this a little bit too. Golden built this team with a transfer from Iona, okay, a transfer from Belmont, who was there before he was, a transfer from FAU. Iona, Belmont, FAU. Okay, not North Carolina, Duke, and UCLA. Iona, Belmont, and FAU. a kid from Australia who played water polo and Australian rules football that nobody in the basketball world knew, a kid from Pennsylvania, Thomas Houck, that nobody offered, a transfer from Washington State, a transfer from I'm drawing a blank. Where did Chattanooga, and the other guy from the Orlando school that wasn't Riley Kugel. And that's how he's built this into one of the 8 best teams in the country. That's pretty good building.
Oh, he's a great coach.
But there's no 4 stars on here. There's not
Right.
there's not one 4-star, not one, zero. There's 0 4 stars. Forget 5 stars. There's 0 4. None of these guys have played in the McDonald's game. I can promise you that. None, 0. Okay, and they're good, they're good. So
well, I mean, again, Houck, his rebound, he gets a big offensive rebound as well. He gets fouled, makes 2 huge free throws to put Florida up 4. He also had a moment in the first half that really, to me, signified how far he's come as a player. So they're it was the rare possession where Florida was sort of bottled up offensively, and they weren't really in a good rhythm on the possession. And the ball goes to Houck at like the free throw line. And he's got some pretty good space, but a lot of bigs won't. They'll still either look to shoot it from there or pass it out. Houck did a fantastic job of taking advantage of the space that the defender was giving him, building up some momentum, and then throws this floater up that's gorgeous. I mean, you watch, and then Aberdeen was incredible. So this is what Florida has. Florida has an incredible backcourt. They've got a physical front court that's very skilled. They've got Aberdeen and Houck and Alexis coming off the bench. So they're foul trouble proof. They got whistled for 20 fouls last night,
right.
But you never got a sense that they were in any kind of foul trouble,
right.
Because no one had more than, I think maybe Houck had 4. Houck got 4 fouls. Everybody else was at 2 or 3, which is obviously incredibly manageable if you're Todd Golden in those final 6-7 minutes. So the fact Todd Golden he's never going to have to change, barring something really freakish, he's never going to have to change how he wants his rotations to go, particularly in the final 10 minutes of a game, because it just does. They've got 8 guys that are fantastic in their roles if they can stay healthy.
And similar in the way they play. Let me rephrase that. Not similar in the way they play. Similar in their value per spot. Condon and Chinyalu start. Alexis and Houck come off the bench. There's not a big difference. The starters, there's not a big difference. The 3 guys, Clayton, Martin, and Richard start in the backcourt. The Aberdeen comes off. There's not a big difference. The one X factor is Clayton. So my final thought about last night, the one guy they can't lose is Clayton, no matter how deep they are. But here's the beauty of last night. He finally had a bad game, and they won the game. I mean, he played as badly as he'll ever play. That's his. I don't even know what he scored.
He was 4 of 15 from the field and 1 of 7 from distance.
Yeah, that's as bad as he'll play. How many points did he have? 9? 12. 12. Right. That's as poorly as he'll play.
Had 4 turnovers.
Yeah, he just, hey, look, good players have bad games.
Sure.
He just had a bad game.
Yeah.
But they won the game. So we'll say, again, it's going to be, I will prepare you, SEC basketball fans, not just Gator fans. It's going to be a bloodletting. Okay, you are going to, I don't care who it is. I don't care if you're a Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, Auburn, Florida fan, or I don't care if you're a Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, South Carolina, whoever fan. It is going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
You're going to look up. Let me tell you, whoever you are, you're losing 3 in a row at some point. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you could be Tennessee.
Right.
You're going to lose 3 in a row at some point. You're going to go, how did we lose 3 in a row?
Yeah.
Well, because you played Alabama, Auburn, and Florida in succession. That I'm just telling you that whoever you are, you're going to look up and you're going to go, good Lord, in February, we're 2-7 in the league. I'm just telling you during that month.
So right now, the worst team record-wise in the SEC is South Carolina.
Right.
They're 8-3 and just beat 25th ranked Clemson last night.
Right.
They have the worst record in the SEC at 8-3. The SEC combined is 152-20 this season.
And what is the SEC versus the ACC? Is that stat out there?
Florida's 4-0.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is, but it has to be.
It was 14-2 in the showdown, but I think at one point it was 31-4 or 31-5. At one point.
That's right. It was 14-2, so that would count Clemson beating Kentucky and Duke beating Auburn.
Maybe that's what it was.
I think.
But at one point, I'm telling you, at one point it was 31, and they were 31-5 or 31-4. And
Well, they got a win last night.
2 wins last night.
Yeah, against Clemson and North Carolina.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So
and Florida, outside of the challenge, has 2 other ACC wins over Florida State and Wake.
And Virginia, 3 other.
And Virginia.
Oh, Virginia was the challenge. You're right.
Yeah. Right.
So anyway, but it's gonna be a fun year. It'll be a fun year to watch the SEC. But I'm gonna say it again. They're gonna bloody each other like you can't imagine. Now the good thing is, if you stay healthy, once you all get in the tournament,
right,
then it is fun. So we'll see what.
Again, 13 teams projected right now from the SEC to make the field. I mean, does that even happen in baseball?
Yeah.
I mean, I know the SEC's been loaded in baseball for years.
I think they've had 11. They've never had 13.
I mean,
I think
maybe it won't end up being 13.
Yeah.
But the point is, everybody going into league play, the worst team is 8-3.
Right.
So
hard to believe
with a big win over Clemson.
All right. So we'll talk a little basketball coming up. But when we come back, I want to talk about Lane Kiffin, a very interesting quote unquote shakedown lawsuit that Kiffin won, and it's an interesting topic. It's Sports and Courts with Brett Hastings after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Let's go, guys.
We can't wait until kickoff, so we get game day started extra early with the Terminix Kickoff Show.
This is it. Day you've been waiting for.
Presented by Clearwater Irrigation and Gatorade. 5 hours before kickoff on 1010XL.
This is Hays Carlyon for Kingfish Pest Control. Are you tired of spiders, ants, roaches, or other pests invading your home? Call the winning team at Kingfish Pest Control. Right now, score 20% off your new pest control service when you start during the football season. Also, enter their Swat That Kick Jaguars promotion at Jaguars.com for a chance to win 3 years of free pest defense. Save big and defend your home with Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
It's the time of year all our customers love. At Garber Auto Mall, every 2024 must go. Take advantage of thousands in discounts on all new Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Ford. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there's always a little room for wiggle.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Looking for an affordable and fast oil change? Well, Big Chief Tire has you covered. Frank Frangie here. Right now, take $10 off your next oil change at any of their 5 convenient locations. Their skilled technicians will keep your car running smoothly so you can hit the road with confidence. Whether it's routine maintenance or a more extensive service, Big Chief Tire is here to help. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule your appointment and take advantage of this great deal. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell & Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. With so many messages, we know it can all sound the same. At Harrell & Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. We'll help you find doctors to get you better, and we'll work hard to maximize any recovery. Visit our website and look at our reviews to see how we've helped people just like you make this important decision. Harrell & Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Is your AC ready for the holidays? Bold City Heating and Air ensures your AC stays in tip-top shape. We know that a clean AC is a healthy AC. Upgrade yours for just $96 a month and enjoy free duct cleanings with your new system. Plus, ask about our 0% financing options.
Bold City AC. We got the crew. Bold City AC.
Visit boldcityac.com.
Googa Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The holiday season is the busy season. Save time with great gift ideas from Metro Diner, Beaches Dermatology, Wicca Candle Bar, and Gotham City Limit. Start shopping and saving at 1010XL.com.
When pests invade your space, you don't just need them out, you need them out fast. And you need to keep them out. At Terminix, we show up for you and eliminate pests quicker because we care about what matters most to you. When pests show up, so do we. Don't live with a pest problem. Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com. Terminix it.
Open enrollment is here, so it's time to secure health coverage for your family. Whether you need Affordable Care Act plans, dental, or Medicare, contact Florida First Insurance Group on University Boulevard, an award-winning Florida Blue agency well known for providing superior service. Theo Mitchelson and his team at Florida First make the process easy and stress-free with medical and dental insurance you can count on. Plus, listen to this. Based on eligibility, many people pay absolutely nothing for coverage. Contact Theo Mitchelson and the Florida First Insurance Group today and let your health be their priority. And a reminder for Florida Blue members, visit Sanitas Medical Center with 3 locations in town offering primary care, walk-in services, an on-site pharmacy, and mental health support. SANITAS Medical Center, Florida First Insurance Group, and Sanitas Medical Center, a winning team in Northeast Florida.
Jacksonville contractors and business owners. Do you need chain link fence, commercial steel, or rolling doors? Frank Frangie here. Coyle & Sons has been in business in Jacksonville since 1927. They've earned the reputation of quality and specialized skill. Coyle & Sons are the ones trusted in Jacksonville by the top contractors, and they can stand on their reputation when you need almost 100 years of commercial contractor experience. So contact Coyle & Sons today. That's 904-356-4821 or visit them at coiljacks.com.
David Lane here, and once again, I'm happy to share news of my successful back and knee surgeries at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Whatever it is that's bothering you, take it from me. Simply set an appointment today at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and let them help you get back to normal life. I'm certainly glad I did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now time for Sports and Courts, legal issues in the sports world with Brett Hastings from the Hastings Injury Law Firm. Hit back with Hastings.
All right, Brett Hastings joins us now as we talk sports and courts. Brett, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, and I want you to know that the other coffee place is 7 Brew.
Yeah,
not a Scooters guy. I'm a big 7 Brew guy.
But aren't they like right next to each other? You saw them, right?
Yeah, and I literally think they opened on the same day. Right?
One is a spite business. There's no doubt about it.
It has to be. And so by the way, while we have Brett here, Brett was helpful in setting up our remote on Friday where we're going to watch the Gators together. We're going to drag you out, right? You're coming out to watch the Gators Friday, right?
I've got about 10 kids from Gainesville that are going to be here at the house. We have the plan, but I'll definitely get over to Strings to see you guys.
All right, definitely.
Brad.
So we'll tell you more about that coming up. We're really excited about that.
Can't wait.
We're gonna have
watch the Gators bowl game with us.
Exactly
Strings
right.
at the beach.
We really do. We appreciate our folks from
Karis Wealth Management.
Karis Wealth, and that's Brad Ernst, who's a very good friend of Brett. So we're looking forward to their sponsoring it. It's a walk-off donation day. It's all kind of fun stuff. So I will drag you. If I got to come get you, I'll drag your ass over there, Hastings. Just so you know that.
The place is awesome.
It really is. Hey, so Lane Kiffin, tell me what a shakedown lawsuit is. It's a really interesting thing because this dude's trying to sue Kiffin for some phrase he used or something. Tell me more.
Well, so we talked about it, I don't know, probably a month and a half ago. And there's a guy named Keith Bell who's a psychologist, and he wrote something called the Win Passage. And Kiffin had a screenshot of the Win Passage, and he went out and tweeted it. This guy then went and sued him, Mr. Bell, the psychologist, and he claimed copyright infringement. He had done the things to go out and register it as a copyright. And I thought the court was really fantastic, and they really gave a lot of direction to people that maybe like putting, inspirational quotes or stuff up on Twitter. And he did sort of go after this guy, Mr. Bell, and he himself in the order said, hey, he's an abusive litigant. He's tried to sue 25 other people, but he thought in this case, he went ahead and dismissed it at the beginning, right? this is a rarity, but the judge said, listen, this lawsuit is ridiculous. It's frivolous. And he said it was clear in looking at what Lane Kiffin tweeted that he was essentially saying that, here's a great quote that I just kind of wanted to share with people. And the court went on in its decision and said, if you went out and, kind of made it seem like this is the way you teach and you were going to have a seminar and you were going to charge people, there has to be something economically that you're trying to benefit on. And he pointed out, he said, one of the few good things about social media is that people do share, inspirational quotes and motivation. So if you're not trying to do it to sort of make money economically, sharing that would not be something that would subject you to copyright infringement. And it comes under what we, and I'm sure both of you guys know it in the media and everybody else, he said this was fair use.
In terms of Lane Kiffin's legal fees, can he try and get that money back from the frivolous lawsuit?
I'd have to go look. There's only two ways that you can ever get attorney's fees back. There really has to be, the opportunity to bring it under a statute. And I don't even know off the top of my head, but I would think that you possibly would be able to copyright. The other way is if you ever sue on a contract and there's a fee provision. If the court, and I'd have to look through the rest of the stuff, a lot of times just the dismissal, you can always get your costs back. But if the court did go and separately make a finding that it was a frivolous lawsuit, that can be a basis to get your attorney's fees back. So,
do you see a lot? I mean, this guy's targeting Kiffin because Kiffin's a big deal. Everyone knows Kiffin, and he's got a lot of money. And this guy's had all these different. He's done this 25 times or so. Does that happen a lot where guys try and target celebrities? Is that a thing?
It really doesn't. Where we see stuff where it's copyright infringement or you're trying to use somebody's name, image, and likeness is you see somebody like the NFL trying to protect their brand, where people, it'd be like if I went out and tried to act like I had an association with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Well, Eddie and Chuck have paid a lot of money to have that official association. So most of the lawsuits we see are where people, from a copyright standpoint or anything else, are trying to act as if something is either their own or they're trying to act as if they have an association with somebody that they don't. And so people try to go and protect sort of their property. This is like, have either of you guys ever heard of Keith Bell? Have either of you ever heard of the Wynn Passage? What I think the court was saying is, number one, this isn't that big of a deal. But number two, Kiffin did it in the right way. Now, the one thing Kiffin didn't do, he didn't attribute it to Keith Bell. And the court said, you know what, he doesn't need to do that. That's not, the bright line issue here. He would like to see somebody do it. So if you want to insulate yourself, you always want to do that and attribute somebody's motivational quote. But that in and of itself wasn't enough to go sue somebody. And, it would really have to be something really profitable or meaningful for it to be a lawsuit that you'd say this is worth the merit. And again, as the court said, you need to be able to show that Kiffin was trying to profit off of it, not so much saying, hey, guys, here's a great mindset for winning or a great method for winning.
Yeah, you see it a lot in the music business, right? Because artists from back in the day will hear a little something from a new artist and say, wait a second, this is, our arrangement, at least in part. And, and a lot of times they get a pretty good chunk of change, right?
Yes, right. That's, and that's when you're really going out to protect that intellectual property. What I'll be interested to see coming up is in the past, when you guys worked at the paper, it was a big deal. Where did you get the photograph that you would go print in the paper, do right. Things like that. Now people cut and paste, screenshot, and do other things. And I think this is what we'll start seeing. The litmus test is, are you sharing information or are you trying to profit off an association with a picture of Tim Tebow or, a huge celebrity like Frank Frangie or something like that?
Yeah, interesting stuff. All right, Brett Hastings, the law firm, the Hastings Injury Law Firm. Interesting stuff. And I'm, you know what? I don't always root for Kiffin, but I'm glad he won this one. It's
good for everybody, And at the end of the day, I'm ready for the spite business. I think it needs to be Frappuccino Frank.
I'm just telling you, they're right next to each other. It astounds me, and I think Brett's right. By the way, I think they opened like Hayes, the same time. They open right. I mean,
there's a great story behind that.
There has to be. I mean, they open. Brett, do you know those people? You don't know them at all, do you? You just go into one.
I
right?
don't. I went to Scooters.
Yeah.
And then, I went and tried 7 Brew.
No good.
And the people at Scooters, look at me like I hopped in the portal, ETA.
Brett, thanks, buddy. We appreciate it.
Take care.
Brett Hastings from the Hastings Injury Law Firm. I'm telling you, right next to each other. I mean, I'm going to take a picture and send it to you just so you can see.
Maybe Larry David was visiting Jacksonville one year and happened past it and said, you know what? This would be a funny season of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
No question about it. Hey, I do want to thank my friends from Ricketts Electric. Always a Ricketts Electric Wednesday around here. Zach Ricketts and all the folks do such a terrific job. If you need an electrician, boy, he's a good guy. Wasn't it fun seeing
it was
the other night? He and Jesse, his wife.
Yeah, wonderful family and a great place to work if they're hiring. So if you're looking for a great place, an up and coming place,
and you can really learn the business. Too.
Absolutely.
I think one thing about going to work for the folks over there at Ricketts, you can really learn how to be in. And by the way,
and it's cool just hearing Zach kind of also talk about some of the recent, cases is too strong, but you know what I mean, the clients that he'd had recently, because there's times where he'll save people a lot of money because somebody has said, no, you got to run this wire.
Right.
All the way over here, and he's like, "No, you don't need to do that."
And he's that guy, by the way. He's not going to overcharge you. He just wants to solve it for you. Call Zach Ricketts, the Ricketts Electric folks, 904-320-5960. A Ricketts Electric Wednesday continues in a bit. We'll talk some Jaguar football, Jags, and Raiders after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
When you step into a courtroom, you're stepping into a fight. Someone wins, someone loses. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we've got the experience you want in your corner if you or a loved one suffer a personal injury or a wrongful death. We're here to fight for you. So if you get hit, hit back with Hastings Injury Law, offices Jacksonville. Find us on the web at 904hitback.com or call our 24-hour helpline, 904-HITBACK.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Have you heard? Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet are aiming to sell 1,000 vehicles this December. How? I've told my team to take all reasonable offers. We won't lose your business over price. With thousands of cars, trucks, and SUVs on the ground, all priced to sell, we guarantee the most money for your trade and the easiest car buying experience ever. I promise we ain't leaving nothing on the table. This is the absolute last weekend. Visit Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. We're here to wow you.
Mia here. When it comes to roofing, whether it be shingles, metal, or most repairs, there is one name that has protected your home since 1999. Pro-Jax Roofing. Serving all of Northeast Florida, Mike and his guys have been repairing and replacing roofs for 25 years. Need insurance help? Mike's team can help. Raised in a military family, Mike provides great attention to detail with unparalleled quality and workmanship. They also have warranties, so you can have peace of mind. Call Mike today for a free estimate or online at projaxroofingfl.com.
Your pipes are leaking, don't get nervous. Fa la 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 la. Call Roll and Reach for same-day service. Fa la 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 la. He guarantees your satisfaction. Fa la 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 la. Call Roland and he'll spring into action. Fa la 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 la. This holiday season, if you have a leak and can't wait a week, dial 904-260-7059. And from the Roll and Reach family to yours, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
The 12 Days of Christmas is back and better than ever at Best Bet Jacksonville. From December 12th to the 23rd, we're lighting up the tables with our much-anticipated High Hands promotion, giving away over $330,000 in cash and prizes. The excitement continues to grow each day, starting at $1,200 and climbing up to $2,300, and the chance to set sail on a card player poker cruise. Explore all the excitement at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
He's not Pistol Pete, he's Pete Prisco.
Been on the wanted list almost 20 years.
CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco joins the Frangie Show Friday afternoons on 1010XL. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
The team at Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to book your next round of golf with us. At Hidden Hills, we love the game, and we'll provide you with a memorable golf experience at one of the most unique golf courses in North Florida. Check us out at hiddenhillsgc.com.
My name's Jim. I'm 53 years old. There should be options in life, like ways to lose weight. Medications now feel like the only option. I mean, it sounds like a guarantee. I do have friends who have lost weight with them. I tried holding off. I did other diets, but I was miserable. I'd rather be fat and happy. The problem was I wasn't happy fat. I was about to start the meds, but then I heard of Awaken 180's GLP-1 program. Turned out it does the same thing as the meds without injecting myself for life. It absolutely worked. I dropped 45 pounds. I'm now in maintenance, and I feel better than my friends who are still on the meds. Listen, I barely know what GLP-1 is. What I do know is Awaken 180 worked for me. And I was far from miserable doing it.
Thanks, Jim. You all know our success with Awaken 180, and now with Awaken 180's GLP-1 Balance, you address the root causes of weight issues. Do it naturally, then keep it off. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Give a unique gift this holiday season with a custom-made candle or body care product from Wick, a candle bar. Make your own product in the store with over 90 fragrances at Wick, a candle bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
Jacksonville's building a fence along the goal line. This is the Superior Fence and Rail Defensive Player of the Game. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
Jeremiah Ledbetter was an absolute force defensively for Jacksonville. The 6'3" defensive tackle produced 1 sack for the Teal and Black in what was a dominant showing. He had such a great performance that many flipped over how great it was. Jeremiah Ledbetter is your Superior Fence and Rail's defensive player of the game.
If you're tired of your fence looking like a bad hair day, well, it's time for a fence makeover with Superior Fence and Rail. They'll make your yard the talk of the town with a new fence installed by their expert team.
Your fence is fantastic. My fence is giving all of my neighbors some serious pick and envy. Thanks, Superior Fence and Rail.
So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail for your fence installation project today.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
With Trevor Lawrence only playing 10 games this season, Mac Jones has gotten lots of opportunity to play. Doug Peterson spoke on Mac's situation and what his thoughts of his play is so far.
It's unique. I mean, we did trade for him and got him in here, and yeah, you hope he didn't have to play, right? But he's making the most of it, and not saying we're moving on or anything like that, but this is another great opportunity. These next couple of weeks will be big for him, and continuing to improve and showing that he can run a team.
The more snaps Jones gets, the more he gets to put on film for other coaches around the league to watch him play and maybe get himself another chance at starting quarterback. I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Ricketts Electric Wednesday on The Frangie Show. Ricketts Electric, the power connection you can trust.
And again, we do thank Zach and all the folks at Ricketts Electric. They do a terrific job. One more time, 904-320-5960. And Hays made a good point. Not only will they solve your electrical needs, but if you're looking to work, if you're looking to be an apprentice, to learn the business, or if you already know the business, right now's the time. They are growing that thing. There's trucks out there. They're trying to fill them. So it's a great time now to be employed by a really good. And when you meet Zach and Jesse, you're gonna love them.
Yeah, you can't have a better boss.
Yeah, so you really that really is true. So truly give them a call. And thanks to Ricketts Electric. Always happy to have a Ricketts Electric Wednesday around here. So the Raiders have been kind of all over the place. They've been, and by the way, they were a new team in the old AFL. The Rams around, so it's a new kind of old AFL team that is now that became one of the storied teams in the NFL for many, many years. And Al Davis, by the way, who had been an assistant coach. Did you know this? He wasn't some rich guy. He was a football coach.
Yeah.
He was a football coach, and then he bought the team. So, but all the way to the early 60s was he part of it. And now, obviously, Mark Davis, as you know, still owns it. But it has just been such a failed franchise, yet had such a great piece of NFL history. As for this game, I don't think they're very good at all. Aiden O'Connell's not very good, in my opinion. Desmond Ritter's less good. Now the Jags are playing with a backup quarterback too, and I don't know that when you're 3-11 and playing with your backup quarterback and half your team's hurt, I don't know that there's any games you should win. I don't know that I don't think they're a should win. I just don't think that. But I certainly think they're the better of the two teams here, even though they got to go on the road.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously both are really struggling, but Las Vegas is lost 10 in a row. So, I mean, that's really hard to look past when you haven't won a game since September, which is where Las Vegas is right now. So, they also haven't scored 20 points in their last 5 games. So, despite the numerous defensive issues the Jaguars have, hard to imagine that the Raiders are going to score more than 17 in this game based on how they've played over the last 5 weeks. So, yeah, I mean, I would think it's a ugly, probably a lot like the win in Nashville, probably that kind of game where the Jaguars, I would think, would pull it out in probably the last 5 or 6 minutes where, the result will probably be in question, maybe all the way to the end. But, I would think an ugly 14-13, 16-10 kind of game, particularly if Ritter is quarterbacking for the Raiders. You just look at it, other than Brock Bowers, I mean, for Las Vegas, there just isn't much to watch. They're on a short week, which doesn't help as well. I will say this, Antonio Pierce, I think the Raiders still have their fight. Again, the Falcons, it was amazing the Falcons didn't win that game by 40. I mean, how often do you have 2 punts get blocked and a field goal, and you only lose by 6 points to a team that's won 7 games? Now, Kirk Cousins has really struggled, and we'll get to that later. Obviously, the Falcons have benched him for the rookie Michael Penix Jr. But still, I saw a lot of fight and energy with the Raiders. They just don't have any talent other than Brock Bowers. So, I would think very sloppy game, but the Jaguars should go and get this one. But you also never know. Anytime you have to go on the road right around Christmas, it can be, in particularly a long trip with a game that has zero meaning to it. So, I mean, on both sides, this kind of screams out a potential no-show game. More the Jaguars because of the trip, the holiday, things like that. For the Raiders on their side, short week, and just having lost 10 in a row. The Jaguars have at least tasted victory recently. So, but yeah, I mean, obviously a grotesque matchup. I mean, the only people that'll be watching this are diehard Jaguars and diehard Raiders.
Yeah, and that's right. So the Jags, what can you glean from it? I'm still a big believer that winning is better. I don't. If you're sitting around saying, well, I want people fired, I don't get the sense that anything that happens in these last 3 games is going to affect that. That's my opinion. And I hope you don't sit around wanting people fired, but if you do, I don't think it's going to affect that. If you're worrying about draft picks, I think right now you're settling into that. The best they could draft. I mean, you could have the first pick. You still could. There's 3 games left. You've only won 3 games. If you get hot, you have the 7th pick. Right. I
would say a reasonable range is somewhere between 3 and 9.
Yeah, that's right. And 9 would mean you'd win out, right? I mean, yeah, I would. Yeah. So I
mean, mathematically, their worst pick right now is number 15.
Right.
That's if they were to win out. But I mean, again,
is that right?
Other teams are going to win. So
right.
Yeah, I mean, there's 17 teams that have won at least 7 games. So the Jaguars can't catch them because the most the Jaguars can win is 6. So, but I mean, when you look at the realistic range, because obviously I'm just looking at if the Jaguars were to win out, where do I mathematically know they can't move past? And But other teams are going to lose. Some teams are going to win.
Right.
So, I haven't gone down and broken down every contingency. But I would say they'll come in somewhere between 3 and 9.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, I'll say they're coming at like 6 or 7.
Yeah, I would too. If I'm going to guess, I'd even tighten it a little bit. Yeah, me too. 6 or 7. That's what I think too. I think so. So the point is, winning, losing. I hope they win the game. It feels better. It's Christmas time. It's we know the season isn't great things aren't happening. They're not going to the playoffs. They're 3-11, but it feels better to win. It feels better for the players. It feels better for us. It's a more fun game to call. I'll be honest. Selfishly, it is. Calling wins are fun. If you're the play-by-play guy, not a national play-by-play guy, but if you're a team play-by-play guy, you know this. Everybody knows this. Your touchdown calls are way different than when the other team scores one. They just are. National, it's the same. I mean, I did 7 years of national college games, and you had to be very careful. I can tell you this. I probably had the Gators, maybe not once every year, but probably I did it for 7 years. I probably had 5 Gator games. I had Florida, Georgia, I had Florida, Kentucky, I had Florida, Tennessee. So I had some good Florida games with touchdown radio, and I was always careful not to go crazy when the Gators score and bummed out when the other team. You got to be really careful of that. If it's your team, you got to be careful that you're not that guy. When you're the home team, it's easy.
Right.
You're supposed to be that guy. So yeah, I hope they win. There's way more fun things about win. And a couple other thoughts. I can't wait to watch Brian Thomas Jr. on Sunday. Just like I can't wait to watch him the next Sunday, and I can't wait to watch him the Sunday after that. I'm rooting for Mac Jones. I don't know what's ahead for Mac. It's a 1-year deal. Obviously, his hope was he'd show enough in the preseason, and then if he has a few cameos to get a contract. I don't know if that's happened. I still believe as he continues to grow and mature, he'll be a darn good backup, but I don't know that he's going to get another starting chance. In the preseason, I thought maybe he would. I don't know. That's where I am now. We'll see.
I wouldn't think, but again, he should have, I would think, a handful of backup opportunities. And if I was Mac at this point, go to an established offensive mind if you can. Like if you can get to Minnesota, if you can get to San Francisco, if you can get to the Rams, and be the backup there, try and do that. Obviously, we don't know who will be here, but here is good. There will be a need for him here. I don't know that they'll want to spend what it might take.
Right.
Depending, because again, I would think Mac Jones will have a competitive $6 to $8 million a year deal on the table from somebody to come in and be the solid backup.
And I think he's good at that. I think he'll be good at that. So we'll see. So it's Jags and Raiders. You said it. It's not a game that's going to be compelling if you're not a fan of the Jags or Raiders, and I get that, and that's kind of where they are. But it is in Vegas. What happens in Vegas, the whole bit. So we'll see what winds up happening. I will tell my story. The Black Hole are the Raider fans that everybody knows well. They have the Black Hole has its own website. And they sell gear now. The Violator, Senior Raider.
I want the Darth Vader costume. How much is that?
No, I'm looking at all of them. I'm looking at all the costumes. So they're crazy. They're these crazy, like truly crazed fans. So we're playing Oakland. What was it? Minshew played 4 or 5 years ago. Something like that, right?
Oh, was that the game where they closed the stadium?
Yeah. What year was that?
Oh, wow.
It was the year they closed.
21, maybe.
Okay, it was the year they closed the stadium.
They've been in Allegiant 2 or 3? Maybe it was before.
Something
maybe
like that.
20. Anyway.
So that's the game. It's the last game ever played, last football game ever played at Oakland Alameda Coliseum. And so, but because it was a fun trip, Suzanne takes a trip a year with me. The last couple of years it's been London, but she'll pick a city. She loves New York, so she'll go to New York. If it's a city she likes, she loves San Francisco. I don't know how much she loves Oakland, but she loves San Francisco. So Suzanne takes the trip with me. So I don't travel with the team. We go out. We spend a week out there. So I got a rental car and I'm driving because I'm driving to the game from the hotel. I stayed in the team hotel, just didn't. So anyway, so I'm driving in this rental car. As I get off the exit for the stadium, tire blows. I mean, blowout. Boom, 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 boom. Get off. I find a little a gas station right on the side. But the good thing, the exit is near the stadium, but it's about a mile walk. Okay. Well, now I got to do my radio hit. I mean, I got work to do. I got to get to work. So I'm like, crap, so I can't. So I call the rental car companies. They just leave the car there. We'll come pick it up. I get my briefcase. I go, okay, here we go. So I don't know where to go. I see where the stadium is, but I don't know the nooks and crannies. So I'm walking. I can't cross the road that way, so I come back this way. My hit's now in about 45 minutes, and it's a mile walk, and I'm panicking. I got the panic going, like crap. So all of a sudden I see these guys. They look like pretty much murderers. I don't know how murderers look, but if murderers have a look to them, that's how they look.
And are you in a teal shirt?
I'm a Jaguar gear. Now it's a black shirt, but it's Jaguar gear, okay? And so I'm clearly Jaguar gear. So I'm like, all right, so I cross the street and there's a bunch of them, and they're all menacing looking, and then they're kind of looking at me, and so they look at me, and so finally the guy goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, trying to get to the game." Well, I figured that. But you got a briefcase. I said, "Well, I'm the play-by-play voice of the Jaguars, and I didn't ride with the team because my wife's taking a trip with us. It's sort of a vacation, and I got to get to there, and I don't know where to go." He goes, turns around and goes, "Hey, we got to help this guy." All of a sudden, 10 of them. I mean, all dressed in the spikes and the pads and the mask and all of them. "Hey, let's go." So they walk up, and all of a sudden they're pushing me, and we're walking. The cops know them. Okay, so the cops go, "Hey, this Jaguar guy, broadcaster, got to get him to the press box." Okay, the cop waves us over.
Anything you say, Commissioner.
So we walk a mile. Okay, was walking as fast as we can. Okay, and I'm sweating, and I'm nervous, and so we get to, and I still don't know where the media gate is. Okay, they get up to get up to one of the guys. "Hey, where's the media gate?" And he looked at this guy. The guy goes, "You don't need the media gate." "Nah, but he does." And so they walked me to the media gate, and the coolest guys ever.
That's hilarious.
The one guy, right as I get there, I said, "Fellas, thank you," because I didn't know where I was. He goes, "No problem." "Hey, at any time did you think we were going to kill you?" God is my witness. He said that. He's got his big grin on his face. I said, "Man, it ran through my mind." Kind of did. But anyway, got up there, called the game. Gardner Minshew played well. Jaguars won. Never played another game in that place. And I always appreciate my friends from the black hole. And I guess I'll see them again for the first time since then. We'll take a break. 1 hour to go in the program. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Every special teams player waits for his number to be called.
We got this.
After the game, we call the Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game.
Game ball, baby.
On 1010XL.
Good job, team.
Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hays Carlyon for MyBookie. Find your holiday season stride with MyBookie. Take advantage of their live betting, especially if a heavy favorite gets off to a slow start. And check out their cool prop bets. If you haven't signed up, go to mybookie.ag and register for a free account. Use promo code 1010XL to get a 50% bump on your first deposit. For a limited time, MyBookie will add 50% to your initial deposit. Let's take a look at some updated MyBookie lines. The Jaguars are a 1-point underdog at the Las Vegas Raiders. The over-under is 39.5 points. The Texans are a 3-point underdog now at Kansas City with Mahomes coming back. The Ravens, a 6-point favorite at home against the Steelers. That's way too high. Sign up with that promo code 1010XL to claim your deposit bonus. Again, it's a double bonus. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. And don't forget that promo code 1010XL.
Get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Dash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Dash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course,
oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it," and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily's Dash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daily's Dash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Frank Frangie here. It's the holiday season, and Nimnik Buick GMC is here for you. Whether you're making memories on the road or continuing family traditions right here in Jacksonville, You can always count on us because there's nobody but Nimnik. This month, save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500s or enjoy rates as low as 0% zero APR financing. That's right, 0%. Shop online 24/7 at NimnikBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 47th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget, and with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, open 7 days a week in December.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
What's the weekend in sports look like? I'm Dan Hicken, and I'll give you my take on the Weekend with Dan. Find it on YouTube and Facebook. Weekend with Dan, brought to you by Stone Core. We do outdoors better.
Jingle bells, plumbing's gone astray. A burst pipe, no hot water, clogged drain on Christmas Day. That's no holiday. Call Duck Duck Rooter. We're faster than Santa's sleigh.
904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Come on, admit it. Almost everyone you know seems to be playing pickleball now, right? So whether you just want to learn how to play or you're ready to show off your elite pickleball skills, the Y is the place for you. Visit our brand new McGuire Family Pickleball Center at the Brown Family YMCA in Ponte Vedra Beach. 5 top quality outdoor courts and 3 amazing indoor courts where you can learn about dinks, dill ball, falafel, the kitchen, and more pickleball slang at the Y.
Jeff Lagerman here. Now that football season is here, make sure your ride can get to that tailgate or away game safely and dependably. You can trust the ASE certified professionals at any of the 27 independently owned Napa Auto Care Centers and the quality Napa parts they use. Napa Auto Care Centers can handle everything: oil changes, air conditioning, brakes, engines, transmissions, and more. Napa Auto Care offers a nationwide 24-month, 24,000-mile peace-of-mind warranty on most repairs. Find a Napa Auto Care Center near you. JacksNapaAutoCareGroup.com.
Icebreakers Bar and Grill in the Community First Igloo is the coolest place in town for lunch and dinner. Watch the game with a wide selection of local beers, cocktails, wings, burgers, ribs, and more. Enjoy with family and friends at Emerson and I-95.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
There's still time to grab a mouth-watering holiday roast at Southern Steer Butcher in Ortega. Come for the roast and leave a hero with last-minute gift cards for the whole fam.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
I'm Max Fink, here with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. The Gators will be facing Tulane in the Gasparilla Bowl Friday afternoon at 3:30. A home state bowl game against the Green Wave gives a red-hot Gators team a chance to finish the year strong and build even more positive momentum going into spring ball to prepare for 2025. As they were given a low probability to even make a bowl just a few months ago, here's Billy Napier on the opportunity.
I would tell you, man, our guys were excited when we found out we were going to be in Tampa. It was a big deal. And to play on the 20th, I mean, we'd be lying if we weren't happy with that. I think these guys have an opportunity to finish the right way in our state and then be home for Christmas and have a couple weeks off before we get back at it in January. Good to be in Tampa. Obviously, Gator Nation will be on full display. It'll be a great opportunity for our fans to come out.
It's 73 degrees at 5:03. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Ricketts Electric Wednesday on The Frangie Show. Ricketts Electric, the power connection you can trust.
Hey, we do thank our friends from Ricketts Electric. Give them a call, the best electricians in town. Always a Ricketts Electric Wednesday. Frangie and Carlyon, JJ LaSelva with you. Speaking of that Gator game, how about this on Friday? We'll be live at the new Strings Sports Brewery. And, man, Scott, the owner, Scott Adib, my buddy, took me through the you ought to see the way that the way they've set up the brewery, the way they brew that beer over there, and how open it is. And it's what a gorgeous. You're going to love it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Because you love the other one. Like we both
absolutely.
So we'll be there. We can't wait.
It's really, right there on Penman, right?
Yeah, right there in Penman. Can't wait to get there, man. I mean, absolutely cannot wait to get there. So
this is a big game. You can't lose this one.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, all the good vibes.
And I'm going to get to that because I think you're exactly right. But let me tell you, we're going to be there. It's compliments of our friends at Karis Wealth Planning. Brad Ernst and his team sponsored this thing at the last minute for us. Thank you, Brad. Very kind of you. And they do a great job, by the way. If you're looking to invest your money, make that money work for you. Brad and his team at Karis Wealth do a terrific job. But come by and see us. We'll be there for the entire game. We'll be there. Our show's 4 to 6. We'll be there before that. Now stick around after that. And so watching the Gators with us, let's all hang out. It's Friday. It's the week before Christmas. You're not working anyway, so come on by there. And by the way, we're going to have our little walk-off set up. And Scott Adib has agreed to give a free beer to anybody who donates to walk-off. You can donate $1. You donate whatever. You don't have to. But you also can donate $100 or $200, whatever you want to do, or $50 or $20. Or, by the way, you don't have to donate anything. Just come watch the game. We're going to be there just in case you want to help the cause a little bit. So walk-off charities will be there. Hays and I will be there. We'll be watching the game with you. It's a beautiful, big TVs, clean TVs, the best. And you know how good the food is there. I mean, the food is
getting
fantastic.
the brisket.
Yeah, me too.
Although I've heard Loggeman talk about these Alabama wings with the white sauce.
Yeah.
And, I mean, now I may have to get that, too, because, I mean, he's been raving about that for a while now.
Their food is so good, so good. But come to see us at Strings, Penman Road at Jacksonville Beach. It's a beautiful, beautiful setup. They've worked really hard. They're proud of it. And we'll have a Gator watch party. Maybe give some giveaway. I mean, you know, we had those little Nerf footballs. I may throw down and outs inside the place the whole time. I don't want to break anything.
Yeah.
You shouldn't throw inside the house, but it's not a house. It's a sports brewery.
It'll be fine, I'm sure.
That's a good answer.
Yeah,
I was going to ask you what you just said. I want your opinion on this. What if they lose? I mean, if it's just a bowl game, yet because you're playing Tulane, not a Power 4, because you're playing Tulane, who doesn't have its starting quarterback. Mensah, he already left. He's going to Duke. You play the backup quarterback, and the backup quarterback's leaving too. He's just going to stick around and play a game first. But it is a good team. Tulane's good. The coach, John Sumrall, is one of the rising stars. They paid him a lot because he was the guy on everybody's list. He was on North Carolina's list. He's going to be on every list of every open job. So they're going to be well coached. It's not a laydown that Florida's going to win the game by any stretch. What happens if they lose to this momentum, in your opinion?
Yeah, the line's even started to move towards Tulane. Now, it opened at 14, which is obviously a lot for a bowl game, but now it's down to like 11. So money coming in on Tulane as we get closer to the game, probably because of the attrition that Florida has had with players leaving the portal. But, I mean, to your point, Tulane doesn't even have their starting quarterback. So I think it's a black eye for Billy Napier if he loses the game. I mean, because if you lose to Tulane in this game, then I think you open the door much wider to the buts. Yeah, you finished strong, but LSU was kind of toxic. Yeah, you beat Ole Miss, but it was in Gainesville, and they just choked in the moment. Ole Miss wasn't as good as people thought. So I mean, I do think that. I think if Florida is able to beat Tulane, then you feel much, much better. And look, Florida fans long for seeing, their logo in a preseason top 25. It feels like it's been 4 years since Florida has been given any kind of attention nationally. And, when you're a fan of a program that is accustomed to seeing your team ranked very highly, that's a shock. It's been a shock to the system. How far Florida has fallen off. So if you beat Tulane, you're probably going to come in most of these Lindy's and Athlons and the magazines that we love in May and in June, and the list that we see, the way too early top 25s. You're probably going to see Florida somewhere between, I would think, 17 and 23. but at least they're in there.
Right.
At least, and that totally changes how your program is talked about. It doesn't seem like it would make that big of a difference, but if let's just say Florida wins the bowl game, finishes the season with a nice win streak, well, now you're talking about things in the offseason in a positive fashion. There will still be the conversation of what does Billy Napier have to do to make it to 26, because Florida certainly isn't going to extend him after this season. So that will be there somewhat, but the lion's share of the conversation with the Gators will be, can they win 9? Can they win 11? How good can DJ Lagway be? Will that Florida defense continue to improve? Because I think he's going to hire a defensive coordinator that's going to get people excited much more than Austin Armstrong ever did. So, I mean, I think, but you got to win this game. If you lose this game, then I think it's back to, Florida is an underachieving program under Napier. They couldn't even beat Tulane. They've got a tough schedule again next year. They're going to be lucky to win 6 games.
I totally agree with you. I think they have to win the game to keep this momentum. And here's the other thing. And again, I'm the one that preaches relax. The portal season goes forever. There's thousands of people in there. But I wouldn't mind seeing a couple players drop. I mean, Mississippi State did just get their quarterback. FSU just got their quarterback. LSU's got 7 guys coming in, including a handful of old Gators. Again, I think it's way too early to panic, but I wouldn't mind seeing a 1 or 2 drop. And to that end, if all of a sudden you look up and Tulane has beat you 31-24 with their backup quarterback who's leaving, and a coach he's probably the latest Napier, by the way. He's being looked at now like Napier was then, and you don't want to lose. And people go, boy, it's a shame Florida doesn't have that guy. That's the thing. You got a rising star coach against your coach, who some people still don't think should be your coach. So yeah, they need to win the game. The other thing is this, or another thing is this: I want to see. I've got to believe Lagway's healthy now. It's been right. I mean, I've got to believe by December 20th. I mean, he was hurt in the Florida-Georgia game. Now he played through it after missing 1 game, but I got to believe it, or a game and a half. But I got to believe by now he's healthy. I want to see Lagway go, man. I want to see him run some. I want to, or is he not? You can say, well, maybe he's just not going to be that player. I watched the high school tape.
He's that player.
He is. He gets going. He can run now. So, but I want to see a little tempo. I want to see if they can complete 7, 8, 9 passes in a row. I want to see one of the. At some point, it can't just be. DJ Lagway was 9 out of 17 for 184 yards and 1 touchdown, and Florida won 28-17. At some point, it's got to be DJ Lagway was 28 of 34 for 312 yards and 4 touchdowns, and Florida won 48-14. That game, I'm not saying that's this week because I think Tulane's decent, but at some point we have to have that game. Right, and maybe that's the Long Island, whoever the hell this school no one's ever heard of, they're starting with next year. But at some point, we have to have that.
Yeah, it's a good point about the layoff. Their last game was the 31-11 win over Florida State in Tallahassee. That was November 30th. So, I mean, you've had now basically 3 weeks where Lagway has been able to get treatment, take it easy. So you'd like to think that he's close to 100%. And to your point about the injury occurring against Georgia, well, if he never really suffered a setback, that game was November 2nd. So now you're talking about 7 weeks since the injury. So you'd like to think that, yes, he would be very close to 100%, if not 100%. And you'd like to see that running element. I think you would like to go ahead and get that on tape and see what he looks like doing it. And I mean, I would imagine if Lagway keeps it on one of the first plays of the game, it's going to be wide open because Tulane hasn't really seen that at all out of him. So I think it would be a good opportunity to showcase DJ Lagway. Again, this is another thing. Like, Napier should try to have Lagway put up numbers. I mean, what he needs Lagway to be the Pied Piper of come to Florida to play with this guy. And the Gasparilla Bowl, on a Friday afternoon is not going to get a lot of national eyeballs on it. But if Lagway makes some spectacular plays in the game, has those kind of highlights, well, that goes out all over social media. So even if you weren't watching the game, if you're a prospect, you're going to see those plays And I think that's really important. So it's not just get the win. Lagway needs to look impressive, as I think he has. But to your point, it'd be nice if he also showed the ability to be explosive on the ground as well.
We'll talk more about this on tomorrow's show. But speaking of college football, one quick thing. I just took a peek. Now I'll be flying, so I'll be watching on the plane. How about Saturday? SMU Penn State at noon, Clemson, Texas 4, Tennessee versus the Buckeyes at 8. That, by the way, that's college football's version of the NCAA tournament. And I think as it gets bigger and better, I mean, how fun a day is that? How fun a Saturday of football watching is that?
It's a great day, but boy, I can't find the excitement like I thought I'd be able to because I just don't like the matchups.
Well,
I don't.
How about this? How about if I told you?
I'll definitely watch Clemson, Texas, and Tennessee, Ohio State.
I was going to say, how about if I told you it was Ole Miss, Penn State, Clemson, Texas, Tennessee, Ohio State?
I'd love it.
Yeah, I mean, so you don't like the fact that SMU's in there because
I don't.
Right. I mean, but if I told you it was Alabama, Penn State, Clemson, Texas, Tennessee, Ohio State,
I'd probably like it a lot better.
You'd be the happiest guy in town. So me too. So, but that's where we have to get to. And if you have more teams, I think you'll get to that point. We'll take a break. Hays has headlines to talk about that and more. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
It's holiday season and Nimnick Buick GMC is here for you. Whether you're making memories on the road or continuing family traditions right here in Jacksonville, you can always count on us because there's nobody but Nimnick. Now look, if you're looking for a better used car shopping experience, you'll find it at Nimnick Buick GMC, Jacksonville's only Car Bravo certified dealership. And with Car Bravo at Nimnick, you'll get transparent pricing, the best value for your trade, and peace of mind. Now is the time to shop certified used vehicles and buy with confidence. What kind of models are you getting? Honda, Toyota, Kia, Mazda, Ford. That's right. All makes, all models. And trading in your old vehicle, don't forget who gives you top dollar for your trade. Nobody but Nimnick. So shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com or visit their showroom off Phillips Highway. It's holiday season and there's never a better time to buy from Nimnick. Who takes care of you? Nobody but Nimnick.
Make the best picks and win a pizza party from Salvatore's Pizza at Tapestry Park.
Party!
Pick the worst. You'll still win some pizza. Yeah! Just not enough for a party.
Pepperoni, sausage, ground beef.
You pick them.
At 1010XL.com.
Hey guys, it's your boy E.T. here. Give yourself and your partner the gift of better love in this holiday season. Let's make it a little easier for you too. Get yourself some Blue Chew. They have chewable tablets with the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, and Staxin. You can Blue Chew all online too. They have licensed medical professionals to help you find the right prescription and strengths. You don't even have to go to the doctor's office or the pharmacy. And when they mail it to you, it comes right to your front door in a discreet package. Nobody but you will know what's inside. And did I mention they make it right here in the good old US of A? Blue Chew has a great offer for you this holiday season. How does free sound? Go to BlueChew.com, consult with a licensed medical provider, and get your first month for free. That's right, I said it, free. Turn that holiday stress into some holiday cheer. Visit BlueChew.com.
I'm Julie Harrell. I grew up here in Jacksonville and have seen our city grow as well as the number of car crashes. If you need help after a crash, choose a law firm with an actual office here. Lawyers you can meet with face-to-face and who specialize in personal injury. At Harrell & Harrell, we've been here for nearly 40 years, developing relationships with local doctors, law enforcement, helping people just like you. If you've been injured in a crash, call Harrell & Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie here for Caris Wealth Planning. If you're looking for a company to truly help you make your money work for you, why not try a group who's been doing it successfully for almost a quarter of a century? Caris will truly bring together all the pieces of your financial world and develop a comprehensive plan to really help you secure your future. So call Caris today at 904-598-3585 or log on to Caris, that's KERAS.nm.com. Make your money work for you with Caris Wealth Planning.
This is Tony Baselli, Pro Football Hall of Famer. I was known for protecting our quarterback. These days, I'm extending that protection to a different arena, your home. I have partnered with Heritage Roofing of North Florida, your premier local roofers with over 25 years of experience. Heritage is your go-to roofer for hurricane preparation, with same-day inspections and estimates. They also work with all insurance companies. Let Heritage Roofing of North Florida safeguard your home and family. Visit heritagenfl.com for your free estimate today.
State license CCC 1335410.
Bold City AC, heating that rules.
Is your AC ready for the holidays? Bold City Heating and Air ensures your AC stays in tip-top shape. We know that a clean AC is a healthy AC. Upgrade yours for just $96 a month and enjoy free duct cleanings with your new system. Plus, ask about our 0% financing options.
Bold City AC, we got the crew. Bold City AC.
Visit boldcityac.com.
Every bowl season has its gems.
Amazing, isn't it?
Take 1010XL's Ultimate Bowl Challenge, and you could win $1,000 of jewelry from Beard's Diamonds.
Are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready.
Log on to 1010XL.com and start picking.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Ever wonder how you can transform your living spaces into captivating works of art? At First Coast Lighting and Fans, they offer a huge selection of high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness. Visit their showroom on Phillips Highway at the Avenues and step into a world of quality without compromise. Discover the difference that locally owned expertise makes and let them help you experience the transformation from average to extraordinary. At First Coast Lighting and Fans.
Blue for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShinatriDC.com.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hays' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hays Carlyon.
All right, welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank Frangie is here, as is JJ LaSelva. I am Hays Carlyon. Thank you to our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Frank, we're going to start with the Jaguars. Some good news in terms of future health for the Jaguars. Quarterback Trevor Lawrence did have surgery to repair his AC joint. Good news compounded. He's obviously cleared concussion protocol. Right. So that's fantastic. And now he's had the shoulder fixed, so he should have plenty of time to certainly be fine for training camp, and hopefully would even be able to do some things considering it's his non-throwing shoulder in OTAs. Tight end Evan Ingram, who had a labrum tear in his shoulder, has also had surgery, both successful according to head coach Doug Peterson. So two great players on the mend.
Yeah, and I would think having them now, I would tell you this. I'm not saying the surgeries aren't serious. Every surgery is serious. But I believe this. Had they been in playoff contention and had Trevor not gotten the concussion, Hays, I think they'd both be playing. So I don't. You see my point? I don't think it's such a significant injury that if they were right now battling for a playoff spot, and if Trevor had not had the concussion, I think you'd see them both playing. So neither those things were not the case. Why not go ahead and have it? And I think both will be healthy, ready to go by next year.
Absolutely. Happy birthday to Trayvon Walker, who turns 24 today. Walker has 8.5 sacks this season and 22 so far in his 3-year career. He's just 24. Imagine what that's going to be at 25, 26, 27, and 28.
Yeah, and I'll bet he has his second straight double-digit sack season. I'll bet he gets a sack and a half between now and the end of the season. There's 3 more games left. None of the teams that they play now are particularly quarterback savvy. They play the Raiders, who have all kind of quarterback problems. Aiden O'Donnell's going to play for this game. They play the Titans, who've changed quarterbacks, and they don't have either a good option. And I think Anthony Richards is a very sackable quarterback. I'll bet you he gets the double digits.
He might get to 20 based on that trio that he's going to see. But yeah, certainly things are looking up for Trayvon Walker, and still a very young man, just turning 24. So hopefully Trayvon Walker has a fantastic birthday. Let's get to around the NFL. The Falcons bench quarterback Kirk Cousins for Michael Penix Jr. The Falcons are 7-7 and coming off a win, but Cousins has thrown 1 touchdown and 9 picks in his last 5 games. So Atlanta turns to the rookie.
They're 1 game behind the Bucs. I told you yesterday, if they weren't so close and in a playoff chase, I thought they would make the change. You said they might anyway. Well, you were right. I was wrong. They made the change anyway. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it got with Kirk Cousins. I really did believe they'd say, listen, he's been lousy this year, but he's the veteran of all veterans. We're in a playoff hunt. We got him to get us into the playoffs. I did not expect a change.
Yeah, really, the only thing I can think of is a number of years ago when Jim Harbaugh was coaching San Francisco, he benched Alex Smith for Colin Kaepernick late in the season.
I remember.
And the 49ers were having a good year. It might have been the year they got to the Super Bowl.
Right.
And that at the time was a surprise, but it paid off. So we'll see if the same thing happens for Atlanta. Let's get into college football. Netflix is doing a docuseries on SEC football that will debut next summer. There will be 8 45-minute episodes. One thing that's interesting, though, a number of schools, including Alabama, Georgia, Texas, Oklahoma, and Missouri, chose not to participate. The good news for Gators fans, they obviously did. So I would imagine at least one of the 8 episodes will be something that shows Florida in a favorable light.
Yeah, those are good. Unfortunately for me, the Jaguars.com people set the bar so dang high that I don't think any of them are going to be as good as the ones we see around here. But no, I'll be interested to see that. Look, when you can take fans behind mic'd up, anything mic'd up is great because fans or media, us included, don't really know what those players are saying. It is cool for all of us to get to see it. And yeah, I think it'll be, listen, that's the world we're in, man. The documentary world is better than ever because of what the streaming services are doing.
Yeah, without a doubt. FSU edge Patrick Payton is entering the portal. He had 16 sacks in his career with the Seminoles. A great skill set, but it certainly never fully came together. I'll be very interested in seeing where he lands. Some good news for FSU. They did get Nebraska edge James Williams to commit to them and sign. So an addition is in place to help that Florida State defense.
I'm going to say this. I think the Seminoles, the bad is they had just it's still an unbelievably bad, incredulously bad season. One of the worst in the history of the school, if not the worst, given the expectations and blah, blah, blah. But I will say this, Hays, they have been appropriately active since late in the year. He needed to gut his staff, he did. He needed to run off both coordinators, he did. He needed to hire the replacement coordinators very quickly, he did. He needed to go find a veteran quarterback that he can trust, he did. He needed to flip a player or two and one really good running back, he did. I don't know if it's going to mean anything. I really don't. But I'll give Mike Norvell credit, knowing he certainly acted like there is a real sense of urgency and is going to desperately trying to change what happened with Florida State, and I applaud him for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Former Florida defensive lineman Kelby Collins has picked his next school. He is committed to Alabama.
Yeah, he's from Alabama. Mm-hmm. That I would not have. He couldn't break the lineup at Florida. He was healthy. He just couldn't get in. Now he wants to be an edge. He's 278, so he's almost more of an inside guy, but he wanted to play edge. But I'll be interested to see what happens. I mean, you're going to a blue blood of all blue bloods when you couldn't get on the field at Florida. Again, he wasn't hurt. He's a good kid. He just couldn't break in. And so now Florida had all those edges. All of a sudden they don't now. But I'll be interested to see how this plays out.
Absolutely. Wake Forest hired Washington State's Jake Dickert, who was 23-20 with the Cougars. So Wake Forest moving fast after the resignation of Dave Clawson.
Yeah, 2 things. Number one, I think Dickert's highly regarded. So, and anybody, he just he just found his way right back into a Power Four, which was kind of the idea. Washington State was kind of wandering in the abyss a bit. The other guy up for that job, we're told, was Neil Brown, the West Virginia coach. And again, I have no idea if Neil Brown and Billy Napier know each other, but I want Billy Napier to hire him as the coordinator. By the way, and again, I have no idea if they know each other, talk, if either one of them would even care to. It's just me talking, but I'd love to see it.
Yeah, it'd be a great hire, and I'm curious to see what Billy Napier does at defensive coordinator. He met with reporters today getting ready for the Gasparilla Bowl and said that Florida's going to play on Friday, take a couple of days to just sort of decompress, and then Napier said he will really kickstart the search to find his next defensive coordinator. Again, we will be watching the Gators bowl game against Tulane at Strings on Penman Road, presented by Karis Wealth Planning. Can't wait for that.
Oh,
Come
man.
join us. Watch the Gators. You can watch me drool over a 6-yard out that DJ Lagway throws.
Yeah, if you haven't watched Hays, watch Lagway. That's worth the price of admission. But look, it's Friday afternoon. It's happy hour time. We're at String Sports Brewery. You got a chance to donate to Walk Off if you want to. Our friends from Karis Wealth are making it all happen. I can't wait for Friday afternoon now. I mean, doing a show, hanging out, watching the Gators. If you're not coming to Strings in Penman Road, what's the matter with you? What's the matter with you if you're not coming? That's my question.
Yeah, it's the Friday before Christmas.
Yes.
Just come see us. Come have fun. Hang out. Let's get into college basketball. Florida comes back to beat North Carolina 90-84 in Charlotte. Will Richard led the Gators with 22 points, shooting 6 of 8 from the field. The number 7 ranked Florida Gators improved to 11-0, one of just 4 remaining undefeated teams in college basketball.
I thought that was a big win for them. I thought it was an important win because I think you're going to look up in North Carolina, despite being 6-5. Okay, I've watched FSU, Wake, Virginia, Georgia Tech. I've watched some of those, Pitt. I think North Carolina might be 6-5 now. They might run through that league. They're not going to beat Duke.
Yeah, they might finish second.
They could finish second in the ACC. So I'll be, and I don't pretend to know all the other teams, but it wouldn't shock anybody if they did. Louisville looks like they're better. But that was a big win because I thought they got out toughed. They played a team with heritage. They played maybe the best guard in the country. They got outplayed and then bounced back and won the game. I thought it was a good win.
Yeah, without a doubt. Number 2, Auburn crushed Georgia State 100-59, but star Janai Broome left with a shoulder injury. Broome entered the game averaging 19.7 points and 12.7 rebounds a game. So a big injury to monitor there for the Tigers.
Yeah,
we'll see how severe it is.
I hope he's not hurt. I mean,
apparently he's had this happen before. It popped out, popped back in, according to Bruce Pearl. So probably not anything to be overly worried about, but still getting ready to enter that gauntlet of SEC play could be a concern for Auburn because he's by far the best player in the league. Probably the best player in the country.
I think he's the best player in the league, one of the better players in the country. I think Auburn has the best team in the country. I think Auburn's got the best team. I really do. By the way, we forget this. Janai Broome, it was down to Florida and Auburn. I mean, it was really close. And at the 11th hour, he picked Auburn 2 years ago. And now I just saw today that he's now going to be in college for 24 years because it seems like he played with Barkley, doesn't it?
Right.
I mean, he's been at Auburn forever. So, but he's a really good player. They've got a really good team. I hope he's okay.
We've talked about this SEC basketball strength, and it's just incredible. South Carolina has the worst record in the league right now. They are 8-3 and just beat number 25 Clemson last night. The SEC is a combined 152-20 this season.
That's pretty amazing. It really is. And I never thought the SEC would be good at basketball. I thought it would be Kentucky and then whoever else happened to be good for a few years. Florida for more than a few years. Alabama every now and then. LSU every now and then. It's amazing what that league has done in basketball. I mean, it is a real look. I don't think there's a bad team in the league. Like you said, South Carolina's got the worst record, and they just beat top 25 Clemson. I don't think there's a bad team in the league. And I say that like I've watched them all. I haven't, but I don't. That's how I feel right now.
It's certainly looking like every team is got a lot going for it as we get set for conference play here in a couple of weeks. UNF loses at UNC Asheville last night, 95-81. The loss dropped the Ospreys to 7-5. UNF allowed a 57% shooting night, so tough night defensively. The Ospreys play at Florida on Saturday.
Yeah, and that'll be, look, UNF's got a good team. When UNF gets back in this league, it's going to have a very good, I'd be surprised if it's not a very, very, very good season for the Ospreys. I'm excited about it for them. and I'm excited about the team they have. Saturday will be a tough go for them because the Gators are really good this year. UNF's going to be just fine.
To the NBA. Milwaukee wins whatever the NBA Cup is, Frank,
I have no idea
by
what that
beating
is.
Oklahoma City 97-81.
The courts look goofy. I can't. I don't know what it is. I got nothing.
JJ, you got anything for us on
I got nothing.
Milwaukee winning the NBA Cup?
I watched it.
Yeah?
They're going to be probably the second or third best team in the East this year.
Behind Boston's like clearly number one.
Yeah, maybe the Cavs, but probably second.
All right, and we will get it to golf. You guys mentioned this yesterday, so I will give you the result. Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy cruised past Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka in the PGA versus Live exhibition. Scheffler and Rory needed just 14 holes to close out the Live duo.
You know, it's funny. I didn't even know it was last night till JJ told us. The minute I got in the car, I forgot again.
It got no traction.
at all.
I had to go look for the result.
The hard thing about non-season golf is nobody follows it in the non-season. Yeah, you can't play it in the season because it's in the season.
And what are the stakes?
Yeah. Well, this was what I thought.
Has to be
this was interesting too. So Scheffler and Rory each got paid $5 million in cryptocurrency for the victory, which I thought was interesting. But yeah, I mean, and again, but that's not going to lure a fan in.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to watch it to see who wins the $5 million in crypto.
It's important for us, the majors, the players.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Prestigious events.
Yes, no doubt about it. So anyway, that was the result there. We will get you out as we continue to celebrate our affection for Christmas music, as we are now a week away from jolly old St. Nick coming to pay us a visit. Today we're going with the Jackson 5, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, released in 1970. This is one of my favorites.
By the way, the Jackson 5 are great.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they really, people don't appreciate how good they were. That might have been my favorite Michael Jackson, honestly. Little young Michael Jackson. I mean, this is fantastic. Well done as always.
Thank you.
We'll be back. We'll wrap the program after this.
He's making a list and checking it twice. Gonna find out who's naughty and nice.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The college football playoffs set to begin this weekend with a game on Friday night and 3 games on Saturday in the opening round. The Georgia Bulldogs, who are a 2 seed after winning the SEC title game, are plus 130 to win the national championship. The Texas Longhorns, who will be hosting Clemson on Saturday in Austin, are plus 165. Oregon, the number 1 overall seed, at plus 175 to win the national title. Penn State will open up the postseason Saturday at home at Beaver Stadium against SMU, plus 200. Notre Dame will open up the playoffs on Friday at home against Indiana. They are plus 300 to win the national title. Earn cash back on your gaming transactions with the GBank Signature Visa Card at vsin.com/GBank. I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
The holidays are here, and so is your entire family.
Uh-oh, the toilet's not flushing.
And now the kitchen sink's clogged too? There's water coming from the ceiling. It's raining in the living room.
Don't let this be your holiday disaster. Call Duck Duck Rooter today and get those plumbing issues fixed before family time turns into flood time. Duck Duck Rooter, your local plumbing pros and proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. DuckDuckRooter.com.
Frank Frangie here, and I can't say enough good things about the team at Sunshine Turf and the work they've done for us. Let Sunshine Turf transform your backyard into a low-maintenance oasis that will be green all year long with artificial turf. Caleb and his team can help you create the lush outdoor space of your dreams, whether you want a durable place for your kids to play or you're ready to say goodbye to muddy paw prints. Visit sunshineturf.info or call 904-383-0243 for a free quote today from Sunshine Turf.
We're H-A-P-P-Y, because Happy Honda Days are here. Everything is bigger. Bigger selection, bigger discounts, bigger trade-in values. Honda, quality, value, safety. Don't miss Happy Honda Days, going on now at your local Honda dealer.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. You know, pool design has come a long way, and if your pool is outdated, Stanley Pools specializes in bringing older pools up to date for the whole family to enjoy. That's why I did it a few years ago, and man, I love the way my pool looks now after we added travertine pavers and so much else. Stanley Pools has been serving our community since 1988, so call them today at 269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Human trafficking destroys lives. You could do something to create hope this season. Make an end-of-the-year donation to Rethreaded. Your gift helps provide employment and support services for local survivors of human trafficking. Visit rethreaded.com and click on the tab to donate.
Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialist congratulating our Scholar Athlete of the Week,
Casey Stahl, senior basketball player at Sandalwood High. Casey has received the Presidential Volunteer Gold Service Award from President Biden and is a member of the National Honor Society.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees, about $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by May 15th.
Hey, I'm Ben Kay, owner of Gotham City Limit, your local comic shop. Here to let you know we're doing 20% off the entire store, now through Christmas. So unleash your gift-giving spirit, let your passion transmit. Do what we do and take it to the limit. Visit GothamCityLimit.com for more information.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hays Carlyon from MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it in a year full of surprises. MyBookie is the one book that's got your back. No fluff, no second guessing, just straight up action. Does your other sports book pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back. And if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we've got you covered. Step up, use our promo code 1010XL, and that'll double your bankroll with a 100% deposit bonus right from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The NFL teams with powerhouse offensive lines are dominating the run game this year, and betting game total unders has been printing money. Stack that with MyBookie's risk-free Thursdays, so why wait? There's a new risk-free odds boost every Thursday. To find the bet, click on the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. If it hits, you win. If it doesn't, MyBookie refunds your money. Sign up now. Get your double deposit bonus with promo code 1010XL, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
This is Corona Premier. Just 90 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. It's a light beer that... Wait, this is a light beer? But we should really tell people about... Right, that's why I'm here. Sorry. Corona Premier, unexpectedly, light beer.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
This is Hays Carlyon for SkyLife Elite. Are you tired of canceled flights, unruly passengers, and layovers? Call my friends at SkyLife Elite. Consider using private charter flights for your next adventure. Yes, you can afford it. Make your own schedule. Fly direct. Drive your car to Craig Airport and get directly on the plane. SkyLife Elite can make that happen. Call 490-9332, go to flyskylife.com, and find them on social media. Fly SkyLife Elite, North Florida's premier private air charter.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
This is Dr. James Perry, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The position the team sits at right now gives younger players and depth pieces a great chance to get live reps and gives them a chance to prove themselves in game. With nothing on the team side of things to play for, individually, there's a lot at stake. Listen to Doug Peterson talk about the importance of the reps for the young guns late in the season.
I think it's huge. I think it's a big step forward for these players, really, to finish the season the right way. Put good film on tape. Whether you're going to be a free agent or you're one of ours, right? You still want to put good film out there. And from a coaching perspective, gives you an idea of the type of player that you drafted, you brought onto your team, and then for the player, it gives him confidence.
I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Doors, please. Time now for the Sky Life Elite Take Flight Moment of the Week. Sky Life Elite, North Florida's premier private air charter.
They go head-to-head. Martin's ball away. No. Rebound tip. Control by the Gators. Right back to Richard will stick it in.
Will Richard, thank you, ESPN. Will Richard with a fantastic offensive rebound and layup for the game-winning points. That put Florida up 86-84 with 54 seconds left. They go on to win the game, and Frank get a huge win, particularly since Walter Clayton 1 of 7 from distance, didn't have a particularly good night from the field, 4 of 15 overall, scored 12 points. But Florida still goes into a very difficult environment and gets a win. So a great take flight moment of the week for us. Again, Sky Life Elite, such a good job. If you're tired of canceled flights, unruly passengers, and layovers, just call our friends at Sky Life Elite at 490-9332. If you've got a trip coming up, you're getting buddies together, really consider doing this because you just drive right up, get out of your car, get on the plane, you set your schedule. Again, 490-9332. You can also get more information at flyskylife.com, North Florida's premier private air charter.
And they do such a good job. I mean, the folks at Sky Life, I mean, again, why would you go any other way?
Yeah.
You know, if you can afford, I mean.
Well, you mentioned the Final Fours in San Antonio.
Yes, I did.
We may have to get a quote.
I Googled it. Every dunk, I Google it again. That's what
we may get a Gators party going to San Antonio with Sky Life Elite.
We got ball to watch, for God's sake. That's exactly right. So you better believe we do. We have ball to watch, and we're going to need to go watch it. So I totally agree with that. As we kind of wind down the show, we're getting closer to the college football playoffs this week. I really am excited about it. I'm like you. I wish it was Alabama, Penn State in the first one. but still, I'm excited about the lineup. I'm excited about the fact that it's mostly blue blood. It's 5 blue bloods of the 6 playing in that game. I love that. And by the way, Indiana Notre Dame is the night before.
Correct. Right after Florida Tulane, you go into Indiana at Notre Dame.
Yeah, you think Notre Dame's going to just blast them?
I do. I mean, that's kind of the other disappointing thing. Maybe not that the games aren't played on paper. I get that. But of the 4 games, none of the lines are close. Notre Dame's a 7-point favorite. Penn State's an 8.5-point favorite. Texas is a 12-point favorite. And Ohio State's a 7.5-point favorite. So, that's the other thing that's surprising is if you had told me that all 4 of these games preseason, no matter would it be 4 games where the closest spread is 7, that's a surprise for me as well. I get that home field advantage means a lot, particularly in this environment. We've never seen anything like this, but I still am surprised that's the closest spread we have. But maybe the games will be great.
Let's get back for a second. We didn't do much on this. We just talked about it. But Michael Penix is now starting for the Falcons. We talked about it a little bit. In typical Kirk Cousins fashion, he was fantastic. He said, "I'll do whatever I can to help him out. That's my job." But I haven't forgotten how to play. Moving forward, what is going to happen with Cousins?
I would think,
in your opinion?
I would think Cousins will get cut because I don't think he's going to agree to anything else in terms of a trade or anything. So I would think he'll force Atlanta's hand. They will have to release him. They'll do it with the June 1st designation to save as much as they can. I say push it out as far as they can to another year to absorb it. It will be a hefty, but not astronomical figure that they'll have to eat. And I would think he gets cut and then, does a team that isn't going to get Ward or Sanders, maybe the Titans, if they've moved off of Levis, do you make a run at Kirk Cousins as a bridge quarterback? What do the Jets do if Aaron Rodgers retires or elects to go elsewhere? He might have a place in the 32 starting quarterbacks, but I don't think it's a given because he has not looked good and he's 36.
Yeah, and I don't think he goes to, of course, neither would the team, but I don't think he goes to a team that's weak or rebuilding. Now, why? If you're rebuilding, why would you do it anyway? I get it, but I don't. I mean, the perfect situation with the Falcons is the Falcons thought they were going to be good. I can remember Wes Durbin and I were talking before the Falcons-Jags game, that final preseason game, just hanging out for a little bit, and he said, we're both in a situation where we both think we have pretty good seasons. Well, the Jags did not have a good season. The Falcons have had a very mediocre season. I remember Wes and I were talking about one of the few years that both the Falcons and the Jags have some hope. Interesting that it didn't happen. So we'll see. Penix, in your mind, this is it? He's the starter?
I think he's the starter.
I mean, next year and the rest of this year.
Yeah, I can't imagine going back to Cousins unless Penix gets hurt. And again, it's a pretty soft landing for Penix. They play the Giants, I believe, on Sunday. So the Giants don't have a terrible defense, but they have a terrible offense. So I would think Penix is going to get a lot of possessions in this game, more so than you might get, because I would think the Giants with Drew Lock starting are looking at some 3-and-outs. You might have some short fields. Drew Lock can be mistake prone. So, do you get some turnovers that help? So I think having the Giants coming to Atlanta really helps Penix. I don't know if that factored into this.
I'll bet it did.
I would think if they were going to Tampa Bay for the division,
correct,
they probably wouldn't make this move.
Yeah.
But you basically are playing I think the Giants are the worst team in the league right now. So you're getting a very soft landing for the rookie. So I think that helps. But yeah, I would think barring an injury, it's Penix now for the next at least couple of years in Atlanta.
Gigantic game in the AFC North on Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Steelers and Ravens.
I can't believe the Steelers are a 6-point underdog in that game.
But I'll bet the Ravens win, and if they do,
well, they haven't beaten Pittsburgh in a long time.
7 of the last 8.
It's in Baltimore.
Or is it 7 in a row?
I think it's like 7 in a row.
Yeah.
And Pittsburgh is having to go to Baltimore,
right?
But
and they play them with confidence. That is the thing.
I could see Baltimore winning. I'm surprised the Steelers are getting 6 points.
Yeah.
I mean, now George Pickens is still iffy with the hamstring. He hasn't been playing. Maybe he misses the game. And like to your point, because he's basically the only weapon they have, his value to the line probably carries more weight than a normal receiver would. But I'd feel very comfortable getting Pittsburgh in 6 points.
Yeah. If, by the way, Pittsburgh after the game after this week has Kansas City and Cincinnati left. Now you don't know whether or not that's going to be Mahomes, but it's interesting.
It looks like it. I mean, the line on the Houston game Saturday is totally flipped. Texans have gone from a 2-point dog, or a 2-point favorite to a 3-point dog because Mahomes is back on the practice field.
All right, let's see where we've been today.
Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, we've taught Jags and Raiders the heritage of the Raiders, one of the most tradition-rich teams in the league, but boy, they haven't been good in a long, long time. They have really faded. They've been in 3 different markets. They've been in 2 markets twice. Now they're in Las Vegas. Interesting stuff. We talked about the Florida basketball game last night. Terrific win for the Gators over North Carolina. Brett Hastings stopped by to talk about a lawsuit that Lane Kiffin has beat. So we had a lot of fun stuff and a combination, and we talked a little bit about the playoffs coming up and even about the NFL as we get toward the end season. One thing I do want to do tomorrow, we'll look ahead to the games. We'll look ahead to the Jags game on Sunday and to the fantastic playoff games coming up. And we'll certainly talk more Gators during tomorrow's program. But I want to get an idea from an NFL, back to the NFL for a second. The storylines have kind of been determined. What storyline have we missed? Are the Lions going to fade because of the injuries? Is this the year that Mahomes has limped around so much that somebody does get the Chiefs?
Can Josh Allen finally win at all?
Is this the year the Bills win it? Is this the year because they're so electrifying? There's a lot of storylines that we should delve into and kind of make predictions on those.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
We'll do it on the show tomorrow. Folks, that's our program. Don't go anywhere. Rick Beluga's into the night right now. We're out of here. For Hays and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.